Let's go ahead and switch gears.
Sure.
State legislators are not expected back in Raleigh before the new year, but members of both the state House and Senate have selected leaders for the new session that starts in January. Barring some unforeseen development, Representative Tim Moore will serve a record-breaking 5th term as House Speaker, and Senator Phil Berger will serve a 7th term leading his chamber. Democrats have selected Senator Dan Blue again to lead their caucus, and House Democrats will vote on leadership positions next week. Nick, looking at some of the same figures there in the lead, do you think we're probably going to see sort of the same policies now?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of the same policies. The last General Assembly session was very successful for people of North Carolina. Take partisanship out of it for a minute. It was a very successful legislative session. There was a lot of bills signed into law. There was also a lot of vetoes, which you can argue whether it should have been vetoed or not, but nevertheless, it's still government working and doing something, which is, I would tend, is better than not. So I think you're going to see
Congress. Are you saying we're looking at you, Congress?
I'm not saying it. I wouldn't make such a terrible comment like that, Mitch. So I think you're going to see a lot of the same, but there's a lot of bills that didn't go forward this one. And I picked one out specifically, House Bill 805, which came forward during the riots of 2020, in which you had large protests that unfortunately turned into complete and total civil disobedience in many cities across the state. House Bill 805 would have given people that were accused of doing these things, throwing mortars and bricks and rocks at law enforcement officers, would have put them in a position where they would have potentially had to deal with some more civil penalties. As this was sponsored by Charlie Miller, who is the representative in Brunswick and New Hanover County. He was on the streets during these protests and had a mortar explode right behind him. Bottles and rocks thrown at him. So there's legislation like this that got through the House and the Senate, was then vetoed by Governor Cooper, that I think the Republicans are going to have a real shot at this time.